Hey, today I'm talking about 3 movies that the hope was that they would all make me feel really good. Turns out only one of them did that. The other 2 were interesting, to say the least. But the names of those 3 movies are Rush Hour, Best in Show, and 27 Dresses. First up is Rush Hour. This is a 1998 Jackie Chan movie. I've been wanting to watch more of his movies ever since I saw Shang-Chi. His fighting style just really reminded me of Jackie Chan, so I'm like, let's watch a bunch of Jackie Chan movies. It's only gonna be one this time, but spoilers, next episode is gonna be 3 Jackie Chan movies, and they're great. It also stars Chris Tucker. I have seen this movie before way back in the day. It used to play on repeat on TBS all the time. And I loved it back then, so I was like, I'm probably gonna love it again. And spoilers, yeah, I really loved it. It's great. The basic premise is the Chinese diplomat's daughter gets kidnapped and he brings in Jackie Chan from Hong Kong to help find his daughter. There is technically a plot in this movie, but it's so thin. There's like nothing to it. It's really just a vehicle to show really badass, amazing action stunts and whatnot, and then also to deliver a good handful of laughs. What I love too is that Jackie's fighting style, though always impressive, can sometimes be really funny. Like he's so improvisational, you're gonna laugh. And I know people can find Chris Tucker kind of annoying, and he is a little bit annoying here, but honestly, his charm kind of takes over anything that's annoying. He kind of works here for me. It could also be nostalgia, since I did watch this movie a lot as a teen. I do have to say though, there are a few jokes that are like, borderline maybe racist. And then also the director is just an awful human being. He's just terrible. So it sucks that he made a really good movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. Doesn't negate the fact that he is a terrible person. But even with that, thoroughly enjoyed this movie. If you somehow haven't seen it, or you haven't seen it in like 15 years like me, it's definitely worth a watch. The movie is terrific, action's incredible, it's funny. It also has a few good heartwarming moments that just, really cheer you up. It's just a great movie all around. Except for the terrible director and racist jokes. Next up is Best in Show. This is a 2000 movie starring a bunch of actors that you would recognize. The basic premise is it's essentially like a mockumentary about like a good half a dozen people who are on their way to this big fancy dog show. It is a peculiar little movie. It's a comedy, and I think I enjoyed it. I probably laughed. Right? I'm pretty sure. The style of humor in this movie has to have a name. It's such a different kind of humor than regular humor. It's strange, but it maybe sort of works. Potentially? I don't know. It's something else. I don't know. The dogs were really cool. As far as recommendation go, I would say if you're intrigued by it, give it the first 2 scenes. Get sucked in by that point and you like understand the type of humor that this movie is and are enjoying it, keep watching because the whole rest of the movie is just like that. But if you're really put off by the first 2 scenes, just stop because like it's not gonna change. I didn't have a bad time. I'm pretty sure I had a good time. Yeah. And lastly is 27 Dresses. This is a 2008 romantic comedy, and I just have to start off by saying that James Marsden is such a ridiculously beautiful human being. And it's just how? Like his jawline, if he fell down, his jawline could crack the earth in half. It's that sharp. Man, is that man gorgeous. I swear I'm straight. Okay, maybe not. I also have to say that Judy Greer was criminally underutilized in this movie, and that is such a tragedy because she is a true national treasure. Like, how do you not utilize her as much as possible? She is just terrific. So I actually have seen this movie before back in high school, but I didn't really remember it. I did like it back in the day, but now it just didn't really work for me. The basic premise is it's this woman who loves weddings so much that she purposefully becomes maid of honor to several women in order to help plan their wedding and stuff. And what I don't understand is why she isn't a wedding planner. And I also don't understand why no one in the movie asks her why she's not a wedding planner. I also don't understand why she doesn't become a wedding planner by the end of the movie. Like, she literally loves to plan weddings and like knows all of these people in the wedding industry, can get good deals. She should be a wedding planner. Why isn't this in this movie? This makes no sense. So that was frustrating. I also don't understand how, yes, this is a rom-com, but James Marsden is barely in this movie. Like, he's introduced pretty early on, but then he just like disappears, I swear, for like the whole first half of the second act. I think it's around halfway in the movie when he finally like starts to hang around with Katherine Heigl more, and I'm like, where have you been all this time? You're a delight. Stop not being here, man. But speaking of Katherine Heigl, like, she was interesting. Like, I could find her relatable and quirky and stuff, and I enjoyed it sometimes. But there was also just something kind of off about her that I couldn't put my finger on. It was just like some strange thing about her just felt not right. And I don't know what it was. I didn't hate this movie though. It did, you know, make me laugh and it did keep my attention. I love the Benny and the Jets scene. That one's great. I vividly remember that and it was just as much fun as I remembered it. But I don't recommend this one. Even if you have seen it, I don't think it's worth a rewatch. This isn't good. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Rush Hour, sitting at number 32 in the Really Like section. And then a long ways down is Best in Show at 151 in the Liked section. And then bringing up the rear is 27 Dresses, sitting at number 166 in the Meh category. And this is out of a total of 211 old movies so far this year. And that brings the grand total out of all the movies I've seen so far this year up to 258.